That's how pros get made. There we go. Yep. That that's a great background you got going there. This looks great. I love it. Sweet. No, not bad at all. All right. Let's chat. What you got for me? What you want to know? Let's entertain some people. Sure, sure. So our goal, just the reason that we're even here in the space, is because we're looking to make Web3 more of like a legitimate business landscape. There are, rumors and there are stories out there about people that are, unscrupulous, money laundering, what we would call ruggers in Web3. And when you get bad news, you hear a lot about it, as opposed to sometimes a lot of the success stories that may just go under the radar that you don't hear a lot about. So what we want to do is we want to try to like give a roadway or pave the way for the businesses that want to be legitimate, that want to have a good business model, that want to have a longevity in Web3. And that's the whole reason that we exist. We want to help people enhance their profits by registering their companies in Dubai under a zero tax authority, helping them get bank accounts set up, just like the typical things that a real business would want to do. And we want to switch the mindset of people having NFT projects or crypto projects into NFT businesses, companies, like real companies, so that way they have a long-term profitable standing, a business sustainability model, things like that. And that is how we see this becoming more of a open door for Web2 companies, for Web2 people, for onboarding into Web3. We see that as kind of starting the legitimacy of the whole process, and that's the reason we exist.
Yeah, and I really love what you're doing for the ecosystem. I think, like you said in the beginning there about, people not necessarily following the rules and not doing the best by their investors. You allow people to sort of cut through that noise by them being, partnering with you, displaying your logo, and that sort of instantly gives recognition to the fact that they're involved with the full stack legal team and getting full support that they need to build sustainably for longevity.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of tools behind our model to do that, and we'll get into that through some of the questions that you're talking about today.
Yeah, fantastic. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to introduce Unify. I'm not sure if it was caught because there was a few mix-ups at the beginning here. So I'll hit you with our intro, a bit about Unify, and then I'm going to start going through the questions that we can ask. So Unify, built on Solana, is a revolutionary platform that aims to aggregate products and service providers from multiple chains into one user-friendly ecosystem. Our vision is to empower businesses and individuals in the Web3 space by providing a comprehensive solution for Web3 navigation, consistent lead generation, and community engagement. We're going to, in these podcasts, we'll be covering various projects, partners, and successful founders within the ecosystem sharing their experiences so you can learn from them and hopefully demystify Web3 a little bit. Um, so question one, and this is, more of a personal question. How did you get into Web3? Oh, we got a pause. Are you good?
You still there, bud?
Yeah, I'm still there. I got a little
There we
freeze.
go. Yeah, it froze for a second, then it came back.
Okay, cool. Did you hear my question?
No, I did not.
Okay, no problem. So I was saying this is more of like a personal question. And, everyone seemed to have a different way that they entered the ecosystem. So I wanted to know, how did you get into Web3?
All right. I had a friend of mine that was at the time buying Cardano, and he told me that Cardano was the way to go. It was one of those tokens, and at the time I believe it was like $2.80. And he says at the time, like, this is it's going to go to $7, it's going to go to $10. You really got to get into this. We bought it when it was like a nickel and cents or something. So he told me his story of Cardano and how much his you know bag was worth at the time. And I started thinking, all right, well, let me at least look at the if it's going to be.
Oh, looks like we've lost connection. Okay, well, bear with us, guys, and I will endeavor to get Mike back. It shouldn't take 2 seconds. I'm just going to open Discord and message him up. This is my first ever video stream, live podcast. Like, I've done just audio podcasts before, but this is literally the first time I've had to learn OBS and link it all up and through
Around
into
with it. Yeah. So
brother.
then,
Brother, we
yeah.
lost you completely. Like, the camera feed
Oh no.
out, mic, everything right at the beginning of your answer.
Oh snap. Huh.
All is good. All is good. I was waffling about how this is my first time, and I'm learning new software and everything else and streaming. So no doubt people will bear with us. It's all is good.
Shoot. Is it coming back? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Full video feed and like much
Okay, good.
clearer of video, to be honest, now as well, and audio's good.
Oh, okay, cool. I don't know what's going on here, but all right. Um, so apologies. Oh, now I'm looking at the YouTube feed real quick, and I'm seeing myself stand up and move. That's so funny. Here I go. Like, let's get out of this room. Let's see if I
Yeah,
can make
right.
this better. I still got kids at the house, so I'm trying to stay away from where they're making all the noise.
No, fully understand, man. My wife just took my kids and like dealt with them upstairs, bless her. So they were all whispering good night, dad, and that. So all is good, man. It's all real life out here, man.
It is absolutely. So, okay, apologies. I'll make this a quick, short answer though. A friend of mine was getting into Cardano, and he wanted me to buy into it. And after doing some research, I was like, okay, you know what, Web3 seems like kind of interesting, so let's go ahead and jump into it. So I ended up starting to buy some coins, and then I bought my very first NFT, and that's what really hooked me. Because you buy the tokens, and you can just sit there and basically just watch the price go up and down. There's not as much fun. But when you start getting into NFTs, then it's like, oh, and then there's this one, then there's this one, oh, and this is supposed to be good, and you really get hooked that way, and that's where the research and the learning actually started. So that's what got me into it, and obviously here I am now, a couple of companies in.
Yeah, the degen gets all of us in the end.
It does. It does. But then, I think the thing that kept me in it the most is I saw the opportunity. I started thinking this isn't just a little pocket where you just do whatever's presented to you. You've got to be able to take advantage of the area. that you're in a business perspective, and see how can I make this whole scene better? How can I help it? And that's kind of where I started looking at the talents that I had in Web 2 and thinking, how can I work this into Web 3 and make this work? I'm a great salesman. I'm a great agile coach. I do a lot of dev work with IT developers, and that's where Web 3 is all IT. So it really helps with me being able to get involved and be able to assist with developers and stuff like that.
I love it, man. And so it was a friend that got you into Web3 through
Yep.
Cardano, which I apologize for. Not everyone can come in on BTC or ETH. But
Yep.
that being said, what in your journey into Web3, like what was your biggest learning curve? Like what would you like to share with your old self if you knew what you knew now?
Trust your gut. Don't believe what you hear. you
Yeah.
know, I bought so many things that I never should have, just based on stats that I was told were good. When you start having a gut feeling about somebody and their professionalism and discords and things, use your real life experience on that. Don't just believe, oh, well, they've got a great roadmap and stuff. If you see behaviors of people like founders that are like not seeming professional, go with your gut on that, because you do know the difference. And that's something that, had I followed that a little bit more tightly, I probably could have avoided a couple of the rugs that I've been able to get into. So we've all got our rug bags. So
Oh, 100%. It's a massive part of entering Web3, but also, that is why we're doing these podcasts. That's what Unify is all about, helping is learn from our mistakes. We're people who've been in the ecosystem a long, long time. We've been in and out of multiple projects. We've seen rugs come, we've seen them go, we've seen
yeah.
OG projects that have been sustainable throughout, including bear markets. And so, we're here and we're sharing with you, the audience, so that you don't have to make these same mistakes. Um, so nice, man. And like, let's get into your business, your Web3 business. And, what's it called? When was it made? And give us a little bit of background.
So the business is called Onelink Solutions, and there are a lot of different angles to Onelink Solutions. It's not just like a single product that we're offering. And again, I told you what our vision was and the purposes that we're here, and that's mainly because I want you to understand all the products that are coming are all geared towards that same end. We want to make sure that we legitimize Web3. So what we do to start, just our base product, that usually brings people in. I'm moving my drink over here so I can have better access to it because I'm getting kind of thirsty here. Our base product is a company registration. And what brings people to want to do that is the fact that in Dubai, you don't have to pay taxes if you have a Web3 business that is not associated with gambling or pornography. Those are the two rules against doing anything in that region there. Um, so that would mean an NFT project, an NFT marketplace, most any online businesses. You can even be an influencer, a social media influencer, because you don't actually have a product to sell, you don't have inventory, you don't have a brick and mortar in Dubai, you don't sell directly to their residents. So businesses like that can register in the Free Zone Authority and pay literally zero taxes. What you'll do is you'll pay a registration, and then if you get set up in the Free Zone Authority, you will have to send in a tax return just to prove that you're not money laundering, doing terrorist activities. Those are the types of, that's how they regulate that. But then, even though you turn in what you would call a tax return, you don't pay any taxes. Your tax liability is zero. So if you think about it, if you are a company in the United States and you make $25,000 a year or more, like even at $25,000, the amount of money you're paying in taxes is more than you would pay if you registered a free zone company in Dubai. So it's like, okay, there's not a single Web3 company that does a mint or has some type of a ancillary revenue that comes in, or any kind of a company that has a sustainable business model that would make less than that. And most of those are more. Like if you have a mint, especially in a bull market where you're going to make $2 million, you're going to keep $2 million.
Yeah.
So it's the thing that most people say, I want to make more money. I want to increase my profit percentage just by this. So that's what brings people in. Then from there, we're all, one of our team members, our core team members, Steph, he's our founder, he is an actual lawyer. So he is the one that set up the legal support that assists these teams. You know, business contracts, any type of disclaimers, terms and conditions, things like that. So like he does legal support to make sure that you're also operating legally and have the legal resources so that you can, operate, your company legitimately as well. So that way you're not just flailing around making all this money and having no idea how to make good business contacts. We also are partnered with one of the largest law firms that's in Dubai. So if you ever did need like legit in-court representation, we have partners that that would assist you with that. That doesn't come with the product that we sell, obviously, but the way you understand, that we're offering legal support to make sure that anything that you could come across we could assist with. Then companies also need to have bank accounts. They also need to have corporate exchange accounts. So we will set those up for you as well. We have resources that give you a corporate bank account. Again, there are certain regulations against money laundering that could stop some of those things from happening. But as long as everything's legit and you're setting up your corporate account, you get a bank account, you get a crypto exchange account, and then also business development. So I mean, there's a lot of things along the path of getting a company set up and getting you up and running to save money on taxes and to have everything set up for you. But that's, those are our base products. That's what brings people in, and that's what happens. Now, we also have products that come that will help you with business development. Again, I'm an agile coach, in Web 2, a lot of IT development stuff. So we will do what's called a value stream assessment with a lot of these companies and let them know, okay, you might have an area of opportunity where you could be more efficient or a better business. We'll work through those opportunities with them and pair them up with resources where they could get help with that as well. So, I mean, not only are we doing business setup, we're doing business coaching, business development, and there are plenty of other products coming down the road as well that are going to assist in other companies as well.
Wow, incredible. So you are, you're providing multiple faceted products, really. So someone
Yeah,
could come to you as a one-stop shop, or someone could come to you and just pick and choose from those select services that they feel like they need.
correct.
Um, I know through your website, that is a link in the description right now. You can actually go and book a discovery call regarding this.
Yes.
So, if you did want to find out more, you could speak to one of the team direct and ask your questions, and more than happy. They'll be more than happy to help you out. And so, I think it's important that we sort of get down into this and break each one of these sections down a little bit more. Um, so, if you want to talk about just the tax registration, sorry, the company formation that helps with the, um, paying no tax on your gains. Do you want to just give us a little bit more on that?
Yeah. So generally what we do is we do a discovery call, and then you would be able to talk to Steph or myself about what your company does. And again, we're going to look to make sure that you're not doing gambling or something like that Dubai like absolutely doesn't allow. So we'd set that up. We'd look through your whole company, how you operate, what you actually would need, whether this is something that would benefit you, because we want to make sure that you're making enough money for this to actually benefit you. And whether you have a sustainable business model, because again, registering a company just to be able to save on taxes on 1 year's worth of work, just because you want to avoid taxes on your mint, may not be the best idea. But again, we're not, this isn't something that we're going to like recommend you do or don't. If it's something you qualify for, we'll allow you to do it. But keep in mind, registering a company has a yearly cost. You'll be renewing every single year. So we're going to advise you on how you can, work your business model so that you have some kind of sustainable income and it's not just a one-time pop. So we'll advise you on that, and then we'll go ahead and get that set up. Now, there are fees that you'd have to pay for that, as well as getting the company registered with the government in Dubai, just for a one-time fee of like, I believe it's around 600 USD. USDT, we take payments in crypto or cash, but it's about around $600, and plus or minus. Don't quote me on any of these prices right off the bat, because again, it's specific to your case. But then registering your company, your annual renewal fee is around $4,800. So that's all the cost it is, and it's completely remote too. You don't have to be there to do it. So that way, in case you're thinking, okay, I live in the United States, I don't want to have to travel to Dubai, you wouldn't have to. It's a completely remote operation. And then if your company needs a bank account, if your company needs a corporate exchange account, there are fees associated with opening those as well. But again, those are things that you can, call in and talk to us about when you do your do your 30-minute consultation or your discovery call.
Outstanding. So they can come to you, discovery call. You dig into their business, make sure they fill all the criteria. And what's the turnaround time? Let's say discovery call goes well, business is acceptable. Um, what's the point A to point B delivery time?
Generally, we've seen company formations come back within 5 to 7 days. That doesn't mean that it's always going to be that time frame because there are going to be wait times associated with the process. Uh, with the free zone authority, with IFSA or something, that might go a little longer. So it depends. Obviously, we're putting the paperwork in as fast as we can, and we expedite where we're able to. We have seen them as fast as 5 to 7 days, but sometimes they can take a little longer. In some cases, if you were to fill out the documentation asking for a specific company name and that company name is already taken, we'd have to refill out the paperwork, resubmit, so that could double the time frame. But, certain things like that could happen. In fact, there was one company that we ran through, and there was just some holdups on the government side that took it 45 days. But again, as fast as 5 to 7 days, we've gotten plenty of them back that way. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer.
Outstanding. And so just drop me some of your partners, like give us some familiar Web3 projects that people may know who are, crypto natives, and then, maybe a couple of Web2 companies that we might not be so familiar with.
We've got a ton of Web3 companies right now, including, like, if you're on Solana, then you have heard of Tile Robotics, Famous Fox Federation. Um, we've got, Ghost Kid DAO. We've got some social media influencers and crypto influencers like Mint of the Day. He's one of our guys. If you're on Ethereum, you know who DeGods is. We've got DeGods X Plus, which is they are the people who own 10 or more. They're doing an awful lot of like real estate investing, which called, through a group called The Properties, which is also one of our groups that we work with. We've got an Aptos project called Aptomingos. We've got projects on multiple chains, Polygon, etc. So again, we're a Web3 company. We're not a chain specific company. We started doing a lot of outreach on a specific chain, but that doesn't mean that that's the only chain that we operate on. As for Web2 companies, we've got a handful of those, but we do have non-disclosure agreements in place on some of these, so that we don't talk about those as much. I know I have the freedom to speak about our Web3 companies because I'm the Web3 Business Development Operations Officer, so I can talk about those. But when it comes to the Web2, I would need to review the non-disclosure agreements to make sure that we're actually allowed to talk about those.
Understood. No, I appreciate your transparency, and it's another step of professionalism when you are, signing NDAs. So, all a good look. Um, let's just touch on the fact that I minted Aptomingos. That was my first Aptos project. That did very well. DGod's huge. I mean, if you are not familiar with Web3, DGods is Nike of Web3. Certainly, Solana is now on ETH, but these are big, big projects. Just to give you an idea of the scale of projects that Onelink Solutions are working with, I've got an interesting question actually in the live chat from Comrade, and he's asking if you could tell us a bit more about the all-in-one
Yes.
software platform. Do you want to dive into that a little bit?
Absolutely. We want to make sure that our software platform includes a basic accounting platform, so that way our customers are able to like link their wallets and be able to see their business expenses, do invoices, etc. We've partnered with Helio to be able to integrate their platform, white labeled into it, so that they can do invoice sending, etc. That's going to take a little bit of time. We were hoping to have this. We didn't plan for it to be a Mint related type thing when we released our passes, but we were hoping it would be somewhere in the range. We never, again, because I do a lot of IT development, one of the main things that I do is make sure that I give good descriptions of when things are going to be delivered, as opposed to hopeful ideas of when they're going to be delivered. Because that's one of the problems that you see in Web3 a lot, is they say, I've got these wonderful utilities that are coming out, and this is when they're going to be done, and then they don't happen, and then the FUD train starts. So one of the things that I was adamant about was making sure that understanding what we needed to have on the platform before it came out, being done before we actually gave it a release date. Now, back to the specifics about the platform, we've already finished the wallet connections. We've already finished and you can do multiples. We've already finished the logins, the dual factor authentication. We've already got the Helio integration started. We also have, the agreements and all that kind of stuff are set. So we're waiting to get some more development time to go on that. We have the swap integrated, and we're actually going to be integrating our future swap. And I'll give you a little bit of alpha on this too. We're working with another Web3 company called Monkey Dex. And we are actually going to be having a wormhole swap integrated onto our platform. That's coming. There, obviously there's a lot of development on both sides of the coin there in order to get that to work. Right now we've got a Jupiter swap already integrated, but that's just for Solana. But we wanted to have the wormhole swap with multiple chains. So literally you could take your Solana and exchange it for ETH. As long as you have two wallets, boom, you're done. Super easy, super simple, and fast. So we're actually getting that integrated as well. So we've got a lot of plans for the platform that we are fixing as we also integrate the bookkeeping, but it's still a little bit on the back end for getting things finished. It's way too far away for me to be able to give an actual delivery date for it, but the utility on the platform is going to have all of this. I mean, you're going to be able to do and it's going to be for individuals and businesses. So businesses are going to be able to log in. They're going to have, be able to add people to that account, the business account, so that multiple core team members can have. So if you have multi-sig wallets, all of them can have the same account, and then you can go in and do all that activity from there. We're not actually doing wallet activity from the platform, but we're having those activities open the wallet, so that way there's no security issues with people trying to access our platform and then breach wallets, because we're not actually getting access to the wallets, but it will open the wallets to form those transactions within the wallet itself. So we're doing a lot of portal activations as well as the activity. The last thing I'll talk about the platform is that's where the OneLink Academy is going to be activated through. So all of our learning content that we're creating, and literally hundreds of hours of content being created, that is where the portal to that is going to be. So with the OneLink Pass that we have, which we can talk about a little bit later as well, you'll get access to that at different levels to get different access to different levels of the education.
Amazing. It sounds like it's going to be incredibly powerful.
It's a lot of stuff. Yeah, I don't want to get too deep into it, but because it would take a lot of time. But that's the gist of it.
Fantastic. And so this is not ready yet, but is being
correct,
and will be rolled out, as and when that's ready.
Correct.
Fantastic, man. It sounds like you guys are really trying to provide a total all-in-one solution to all of the Web3 aspects. Combining that into one platform, I just think there's a big issue with fragmentation when it comes to Web3. So being able to access this sort of information and detail in one place is going to really set you guys apart.
I'm switching spots here, so let me turn my camera off just for a sec.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Switching spots over here. I'm still here, so keep going.
Yeah, nice. So I have had another question in, which I think we did just answer, to be honest, which was how long does it take to get a UEA company set up and running? I know you said as quick as 5 days and worst case 45 days.
Correct. And worst case scenario, if it does take longer than that, we're reaching out and we're letting you know. We're not just letting you sit there and wonder, hey, why have I not gotten the papers for the company? We've got agents that will actually reach out to you and assist with that.
Amazing. I know, just to be transparent as well, like I hold 5 of the OneLink Solution passes. We intend to utilize those with Uni-Fy. Uni-Fy will be working with OneLink Solutions, and they will be on our platform. There's lots and lots of alpha involved there that we'll be dropping, not in this podcast, but certainly in the future. So what we cover? We covered a lot so far. I want to hear about, like, what are some of the mistakes you're seeing in Web3? Like businesses that are coming to you, like what have they done wrong? And what are the most common things you're seeing that they could have done better if they'd come direct to OneLink Solutions?
One of the common mistakes, and I'll just give you the full screen transparency on this here, is when companies come to us and they say we're really really interested in this, but we're not going to get the funds to be able to do it until after mint. That's one of the biggest things that I see that, you see, that's going to cost you a lot of money if you do that. If you come to us after mint, then that means everything that you took in from your company goes under wherever you were registered or however you're filing taxes prior to you setting up the company. The company registration starts the day the paperwork gets signed and everything. So that's when your taxable income is now able to be reported from the new company. So that's where I see the biggest problem happening for the most part, because they want to get into the company, the free zone authority, so they can save on the taxes. But then they wait until after mint and they've collected all their money from mint, especially if they mint out, and then they've got to pay taxes on all that because the company hadn't been formed at that point. So understanding the dates of and processes of how all this works, like this is usually a pre-mint activity that they would need to do if this is an NFT project. When it comes to social media influencers like Web2 stuff, then the timelines are usually a little different because you've already been filing taxes and forming income, and then that way you're like, okay, as of this date, then I'll change over to the new style. But when NFT projects come to us and they'll say, well, we'll hold off and we'll wait to do this until after we get some money from mint. Well, then that also means the cost of it is actually a little bigger because now you're paying post tax, on with the funds that you have, because you're now paying tax on everything that you took in.
Wow. So what I'm hearing you say there is the sooner that you indemnify and register your company, the better for your business, certainly when it comes to turning over money like a mint and not paying taxes on it.
Yeah, if you know you've got money coming in and you don't want to pay taxes on it, then you need to have the company formed before that happens, because the timelines of these things are very specific, especially in the United States. Like if I'm going to mint something on Friday and my company formation is the week after because now I get money and I can pay for it, I still got to pay taxes on everything that I took in for mint. So you're losing a ton of money to taxes if you do this post mint or post whatever the activity is.
Okay. No, so I think everyone listening, pay attention, get your company registered with Onelink Solutions ideally or elsewhere, but get that registration done before you start making any money, because otherwise you are going to lose profit potentially to tax. And I would imagine it's, fairly complicated transferring money and business assets and everything else from, say, a US company to a Dubai company when you could have just done Dubai first.
Yeah. Or even if you don't do the Dubai company and you're just doing, like prior, and you're just start, then this is something a lot of people, when you start up an NFT project or an NFT company, a lot of people don't understand the tax ramifications of it without having any company at all. Like if you're just doing it and you're a sole proprietor and you've just got a friend in college that you're doing this project with, you guys are going to have to split paying taxes on this somehow. You're going to have to figure out how this is worked out after the fact, after you have all this money in your pocket. And these are the types of conversations, like we want people to stop thinking in the terms of an NFT project or a Web3 project and thinking of it as a Web3 company. Because if you look at it that way, a project just by definition has a very set start and a very set finish. A company, on the other hand, has a 1-year plan, 3-year plan, 5-year plan. There's some kind of a business sustainability model. We want people to start thinking of it more in those terms and put the roadmap to their company down first and think about how it's going to operate before they actually start running off and operating it. Because then, in the post sense, there's a lot of things that you might have done differently if you look at it and say, oh, we should have done this first and this first, and and these are the things that we're willing to help out with in our discussions, in our discovery calls.
Beautiful. So what I'm hearing you say really and truly is, if you're looking to do this, we've seen the initial bull run, right? We've seen how much
Yeah.
money is locked in this ecosystem. We know right now we're in a bear market. And, I think everyone who's been in crypto long enough knows that it is a very cyclical ecosystem. And it's important that you prepare yourself. If you're going to make a business in Web3, let's say you're an exchange artist. Let's just talk about an individual for a second, Mike. So
Yeah.
I'm a one of one exchange artist, right? I do well. I'm doing auctions. Let's say I'm turning over a couple of thousand a month in Solana. What does that look like? What advice would you give me um, in terms of taking the best steps in positioning myself for sustainability and longevity.
If you're coming into, obviously if you're a one-on-one artist, you have plans and you have a forecast of what you'd like to be able to do to stay as busy as you want and make a certain amount of income doing it. Nobody's going to get into this to do one every couple of months or something. They're going to come up with a business model. We want to make sure that that business model is set so that you understand what your income should be. You'll look at what you would pay in taxes if you did not register versus what you would pay in taxes if you did register, and we want you to go in the direction of the benefit and understand if I get to a certain point, this is what I would need to pay in taxes, so that that way I can determine is it asked and my marketing strategy to bring in income going to take me beyond that limit to where registering. So those are the things that we want you to look at as a business model before you let the actions determine that post when it would need to happen.
Agreed. Fantastic advice. And I like the way that this is implementable to almost every aspect of being a creator or someone who's actively
Yeah.
making money in Web3.
This can be developers, like individually if you wanted to have a dev company. This could be artists, this could be the project owner itself and the founder. Like, we're not just talking about specific Web3 projects. I mean, we've all got businesses. Onelink Solutions is registered as a Dubai company because we are looking to obviously have more income than the small 25,000 or $30,000 limit that would be the break even point for registering or not registering. Our business model looks much deeper than that. And for those of you that are in our Discord, you already know, before we even minted, we were over 350,000 in gross revenue, as a company in the 6 months prior. So, and it's growing nonstop since. So, and we can talk about that more in the Discord and stuff. Especially for our holders that are interested in how well the company's doing based on their rev pay that's going to be coming up at the end of the month. But just for the simple fact of like understanding the differences in what you would be earning in profit on both of the scenarios. I mean, that's just a night and day, decision maker right there.
100%. So let's just cover that again. So OneLink Solutions, registering your company in a tax-free zone in Dubai is applicable if you are a one-of-one artist, a developer, a
Yep.
freelance marketing executive. There is no place really you're not in a good position, at least to do your 30-minute consultation call, and ask the questions. Am I applicable? What does this look like? Should I be doing this? Or do I need to wait until X, Y, and Z and then implement and talk to OneLink Solutions? But I think, this is something that everyone serious about sustainability in Web3 should be looking into and certainly
Yeah.
having a discovery call. I just wanted
Yeah.
to,
You'll.
while we're on that, you mentioned the rev pay for the holders. Now, I know this has been an odd sort of talking point in my history in Web3, right? So often I would hear we're doing rev share, this, that, and the other over the last sort of year and a half, and it's always been, you can't say that. That's not legal. This, that. So please break that down for me, and then maybe just explain a little bit how your project and your NFT collection is providing that utility and what people can expect.
One of the smartest things that a NFT company can do when they talk about being able to provide any kind of a kickback or something towards their community, for something, is making sure that it is an actionable thing that they are being paid for. So that's one of the reasons we call it rev pay instead of rev share. We're not just sharing money that comes into our wallet. We're actually paying people for specific activities. So we have a platform coming out here that's going to do the distributions. X Labs is the company that's actually creating this for us. And they are, as you go through and be a member of our Discord community and hold our pass. Most NFT companies want you to talk about this project in other Discords, tweet about this project, retweet, make comments, whatever. But that's supposed to be your organic marketing crew. Now, because of those activities, that's marketing for us. So what we're going to do is that's what the rev pay actually goes towards. It's paid for you to do those types of activities. Now, we're obviously not going and we're not going to check your tweets and we're not going to check your Discord activity, et cetera, and see if you're talking about us and other things. But that is what it's for. So we are actually going to make you go onto our platform, do an action to claim it, so that way you're actually doing something. We're actually paying you almost like an employee to do certain activities. Now, what's going into that? We're giving all of the royalties from our NFT sales completely. Every royalty that's ever come in is going right into that account, as well as 5% of our gross revenue of the company. That's gross, not profit. That's gross. So if somebody were to pay us $1,000, 5% of that's going right into that, which like I said, they're like $50 or whatever. So all of that is going into this, and we're doing monthly payouts on that. And the first one is going to be at the end of August for that period. So that is what's going in to make you active as a community member, make you talk about Onelink Solutions and other Discords, and then the actions that you take talking about us, if they bring in clients, bring in other NFT companies that want to register, we're actually paying commissions based on like a sales like a sales force. We're paying commissions based on how many NFTs you hold. So if you are a holder of just one, you're going to get a 5% commission on somebody that would come in, based on your referral. If you hold six, you're going to get a 7.5% commission. And if you hold anything over 10, 11 plus, and actually, I take that back. The holding is for the number you hold is for the rep pay. Points associated with the NFT: 1 to 5 points, 6 to 10 points, and then 11 points and up. That's where the commission percentages go: 5%, 7.5%, or 10%. The points are associated with the color. So you have 1 point for blue, 2 points for purple, and then 4 points for gold. If you have enough of the NFTs where you add those points up and you get to 11 points, you will get 10% commission on what people buy off of your referral. So I'll give you a quick example of that. Somebody comes in and they want company registration, a bank account, and a corporate exchange account. You're going to be roughly around $8,300, roughly, maybe plus or minus a couple of bucks depending on the certain situation. That means you would get paid out 830 USDC right then and there on the spot if you had 11 points of your NFTs. So if you had 2 gold and 2 purples, you'd have 12 points. You would automatically get 830 USDC sent right to your wallet. So that's one way of getting paid. The rev pay is something else that is another way of getting some revenue from this. So we're trying to make this as revenue friendly to our community as possible. So if you just talk about us and be a good community member, you're going to be able to collect your rev pay every month at the end of the period based on 5% of our gross revenue and all the royalties. You'll get a share. If you go out and you actually create tickets, which I'm actually making very easy and telling people how they can refer us, you can get between 5 and 10% commission. So we're making it super easy for people to be able to profit by being part of this community and being part of the Discord and holding our NFTs.
That's incredible. So you've actually paid commission out already to
Oh yeah,
ambassadors.
we paid well over $20,000 in commissions already.
You heard it here first, guys. I mean, this is not only are you speaking to OneLink Solutions in order to indemnify yourself and your company, but you can act as an ambassador and you can go out. If you're a qualified affiliate marketer, if you've got an email list and an audience dedicated to sort of legal affairs, or just someone that you could explain this to, you could potentially earn a fairly considerable commission. Um,
We've even got a couple of people that are part of our Discord community that have gone out and created their own sales funnels on their own websites about our product to draw in people.
yep,
And they're already sending clients to us. Like
yep,
literally, they've created their own websites with their own intake funnels.
yep, yep. And this is exactly what any of you can be doing listening now. Link is in the description. Go and check OneLink Solutions out. Obviously, go and check Unify out. And what I wanted to just say about RevPay, and you said, obviously we're not checking and stuff like that. I want to just bring the attention and for people to understand that these founders of these businesses are providing rewards that are for the holders, for their investors or for their affiliates. But the harder you work, the more you do what you've been advised to do to earn your money, the more that you're going to earn. So,
Yep.
as much as, yes, it's, passive income or whatever you want to call it, even though you should be doing something, just think about leveling that up. You know, you don't just have to flip JPEGs and invest in the 1000x unicorn project to make money in Web3. You can do that by working with companies like OneLink Solutions, like Uni-Fy, and actually start making money without investing anything but time. And
Well,
that's
you
something
know what
really important.
they used to say back in the day of the gold rush.
Mhm.
You want to make money in a gold rush, sell the shovels.
Exactly.
Don't go digging for gold. The guy that made the guaranteed way to make money in a gold rush is to be the guy selling the shovels because everybody wants one. So if you can make Web3 work better, legitimately, then you're doing something right and you're going to get paid for it. It's so easy to the fact that I've even set up, I've given a strategy to our Discord members to show them how they can go into other communities and talk about Onelink Solutions. I've even written dummy support tickets for them to just copy and paste. They may not even know how to speak English, but they can copy and paste these dummy support tickets that I've created. All they have to do is create a support ticket, copy, paste, send. And with that, they can get a commission. Like it's that easy.
I mean, what more do you want? That's basically baby food now for just making money. So
Yeah.
I highly
Yeah.
suggest again, go check out these guys. I love it. Um, there's commission to be made. There's money to be made. Like
Yep.
Martin said, you don't even need to know anything. You can copy and paste, and you can go ahead and do this. I know there are lots of people, including Unify, that are setting up their own funnels to produce the commission.
Yep.
For two reasons, not just for profit, but because we want to see the ecosystem filled with real businesses set up for sustainability and no more of these rugs,
Yeah.
that's the most important thing here.
And you're 100% right there. And I want to touch on that point too, just to let people know, I'm not just a salesman out here saying this is our product. Here's how you can sell our product. Here's how you make us money. Here's how you get paid by us. If you want to be an NFT purchaser and you have a company that's actually set up and registered with, as a company, there's probably going to be a little bit more legitimacy in your mind when you view what you think about that company versus a company that doesn't have that. And that's the goal. We want to try to make Web3 more legitimate. And if somebody's going to register a company in Dubai, then that means they're also going to be privately doxed with us with passports, not with just a fake ID that they could create just to say, hey, I doxed and here you go, to some of the people that would just do like video calls to dox. No, this is like a legal doxing that we're doing to set up this company. It's private. We're not going to tell anybody who anybody is. But in order to register a company with the government of this country, you have to have like real IDs that are verifiable. So chances of them rugging are a lot less. I'm not going to say that it's impossible for somebody to rug even if they're fully doxed, but the chances of them doing it are probably a lot less than the guy whose name is, Boss Bull, from
Yes,
Boss
yes.
Bulls Club, who, popped in every now and then, never told anybody his name. You never even heard his voice because he never did an AMA, had a great piece of art. A lot of people, he sold out $2 million worth of NFTs in 7 minutes, hung around for about 7 months, 6 months, and was gone. It's just that's just what happened. It's the chances of that happening, which is going back to the beginning of the podcast. Thinking about the behaviors that I did back in the beginning of my Web3 journey. I was a mod in that. And the guy never did an AMA, and I thought, why won't this guy ever talk to anybody? I wouldn't have any problem doing it. I'm just a mod. And then the guy ended up disappearing, and I thought, man, I saw the red flags all along, but I just kept having faith. And it's one of the mistakes down the road. Like, this guy was never a legitimate businessman. to the point where he would want to pop it. If maybe we had been able to talk to those projects back then and say, look, we can register you as a free zone authority company and you won't have to pay any taxes on any of this, maybe they would have stuck around a little longer, or maybe they wouldn't have been so scared to dox or something. You know what I mean? But again, who knows? I can't say that we could have prevented a lot of stuff that has happened in the past, but people who do this now are going to be viewed as a lot more legitimate than companies that don't. And we hope this is a view that will take over more of Web3 so that people will start to see, if you're not registering as a company, I'm not going to have a lot of faith in you going forward.
Completely. And I really appreciate you sharing, that you've been in there and
Yep.
you've ignored your gut, and you didn't do your due diligence. And if we were just to pull this example from Web 3 into Web 2, right? If Web 2's
Yeah.
version of Web 3, the Discord is a pop-up shop in your local town.
Yes.
Okay? In that shop is someone wearing a mask and an alien suit. And that person is convincing you to give them 20, 50, 100, 1,000, $10,000
Yep.
based on him drawing a picture on the wall about the things he may or may not do with your money when he gets it. You don't know where
Yep.
he lives, you don't know what he looks like. Okay? This is what we're talking about here. All right? And a lot of responsibility lies on us because we're the people going into that shop, speaking to the guy with the mask on and an alien suit, and believing his drawing on the wall and giving him our hard earned money. And there's a
Yep.
lot of responsibility to be held by us as investors as much as the ruggers who, frankly, if they can get away with it, why wouldn't they if you haven't done that? And I think
Yeah.
there's a lot to be said now if you're new in Web3 or you're not. But there's a lot to be said for saying, can you please hop on a call with OneLink Solutions and consider registering in Dubai? And if you get no's or rejection, okay, it could partly be to do because they haven't done their research on OneLink Solutions, but just the ability to be able to head up and go, look, here's a legitimate company that can indemnify you. Why don't you go and check them out? If someone's just plain outright no, there's some red flags that you can check on right there.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I love that, man. I think, Unify wants to be the window into Web3 that is filled with with legitimate businesses set up for sustainability and long-term growth. That's
Yeah.
what the Unify platform will offer, and OneLink Solutions allow you to do that in such a way that you do it in the most tax efficient and sustainable way with a fantastic team, ongoing support, and you can hit them up on Discord. And the good thing about Discord, 24/7 customer support,
Yeah.
both for
Yeah, it is.
affiliate and for, much to, sometimes it's like, oh God, I need to add this ticket at 5 in the morning. But,
Yeah.
this is Web3, and these are some of the advantages of being on chain, being transparent, and you do get that access to the core team.
And also, aside from the products that we offer, we also connect you with people who are in the space so that if there are areas of opportunity that you do need, people that are our clients, people that are our affiliates, like Uni-Fy, if there are services that Uni-Fy, that our customers need from Uni-Fy, we're going to make that connection so that way our customers that are coming in, they have the area of they have the access to the opportunities to make them more successful. We'll make those partnerships, whether it be marketing needs, whether it be Discord setup or security needs, whether it be artists, launch pads, like whatever you need. And we're not going to force you to use anybody, but we're going to make the connection so you can have the conversations, and we're going to try to make sure you're as successful as possible. Again, this is our goal, making Web3 more legitimate, not by letting people struggle after we've gotten their money, but yet they're going to make some profit. But we want to make sure that they have a sustainable business model by saying, if you need something, go talk to this group of people over here. You don't have to sign with anybody specific, but we just at least want you to have access to the information where we know that you could have an area of opportunity to meet with them.
I love that. And I'm just reading the chat, and apparently people can't hear me.
Huh.
So you can't hear me still.
That's weird because I hear you just fine in my headset.
I know.
I know I can hear myself through my headphones, and I can see, the audio mixer in OBS. So I'm a little bit confused. I know this mic isn't brilliant. I'm definitely going to replace it, but
Well, I still hear you really well on my headset, so I know it's working.
How strange.
Turn it up.
Yeah. How's that? Is that any better for everyone?
I hear you. I hear you
If
just
you're
fine.
still watching, please just confirm that this is better or not. Nice. Anyway, we shall continue. I've maxed my gain up, so I'm probably yelling at everyone now. It's better than previous. Okay. Just double check.
Cool.
That's there. Okay, yeah. Don't buy the cheapest mic on Amazon. Buy the second cheapest. Awesome. So we covered the tax breaks. Let's just dive a little bit deeper into the affiliate marketing side of this, because I know we touched on it. Just break down in the simplest form you can that system.
So, affiliate marketing, like which area of that do you want me to dig into? I mean, there's a handful of ways for us to approach this. Do you mean from the Discord community side, from what they're going to be doing, or do you mean from what we're doing with our partner affiliate teams that are coming in?
Yeah, so let's talk about the partner affiliate teams that are coming in.
So some of the projects that we're working with, some of the companies that we're working with, will have a very specific skill set. For example, Tayo Robotics, they have a launch pad called Soulport. As people come into us and they are in need of a launch pad, what we do with them is we actually ask, if we can set up a conversation with them so that they're actually able to talk to them. And then that way they are able to decide if this is a launch pad that they want to use. In that respect, we don't take any commission from that whatsoever if they do decide to go with that person. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a list of preferred vendors for every single need from everybody that we work with. And then we're going to be able to pretty much offer that preferred vendor list to everyone that comes in based on, again, the value stream assessment that we do with them to show where their areas of opportunity are. Once they see who those people are, they'll reach out, and that is just a free service that we offer to be able to market to any of the customers that we have that have services they want to offer. And that's called our front door network. So we're going to use that front door network to do all of our affiliate marketing, send that off. That also includes Twitter Spaces, AMAs, podcasts like this, anything that they need where they want to bring us in to be able to have conversations with. We can do any kind of connections that way. That also means that on the return, somebody like Tayo would be able to say, okay, we've got somebody that came to us for a launch pad, but they're not registered as a company anywhere, and we think that might benefit them. Let me send them back to you. So it's kind of a shared service back and forth.
Love that. And I think that's one of the big things we found Uni-Fy and Onelink really synergizes on. We see the fact that Uni-Fy being a platform, we're also going to offer, very similarly, like you said, this front door program, where we allow multiple projects to come and create a brand page, an e-commerce page. They can start selling their products and services. They get a full affiliate marketing system built in, and we then offer upsells recommending products and services like yourselves, like Soulport Tom, Launchpad. You can just go bang, 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 and you know that these are vetted companies, that they've been through Onelink, that they've been through Uni-Fy verifications, and obviously you've got all of the community verification, feedback, reviews, everything else live on that platform.
Yeah, let me add just to what you said there. We want to make sure that the companies that we offer through our front door network have been tried, true, and vetted. It's not something okay, we've got a brand new customer that is just getting ready to go to Mint. They started their company up two weeks ago. They've been around for 6 weeks post-Mint. At that point, we're not going to add them to our front door network immediately, just because we don't want that to be something that comes back to bite us when they do realize the pains of growing a business. These are companies that have had their services out for some time and have proven their effectiveness and their valuability in the ecosystem.
Correct. And yeah, because you're offering in-house, out-house, and you need to make sure that those people are going to fulfill to the highest of standards what it is you're recommending them for. Yeah,
correct.
And it's this, this is what takes us and sets us apart from places like Fiverr. All right, where you're basing your stuff on what could potentially be fake reviews. You're basically just, hitting and hoping in Fiverr. Whereas going to Onelink Solutions or Uni-Fy, you're finding people that are tried, tested, vetted OGs in the space. We had Cyberfrogs on last week. These guys have been building for 2+ years. Thai Robotics, as you mentioned, D-Gods, all of these people, OGs, proven track record, really, really important aspects to look for when you're investing, working with, or looking to utilize products or services provided by these individuals.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, nice. And so let's just dip into the Discord side of the affiliate marketing. And if you could just touch on with the ability to be involved in the affiliate marketing without either holding, being in, maybe you need to be in Discord, but you certainly don't, I know you don't need to be a holder, am I right in saying that?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, so maybe if you could just dip into that for us.
Correct, yeah. Like in our Discord, we want to make sure that like the community members that we have that we bring in that are part of that affiliate marketing, we give them like a special role so that we can actually have discussions with them outside of the community so that we can actually go through their services, what they have to offer, and how valuable that would be to the new customers that we have coming in based on who we already have on our preferred vendor list. Obviously, this is a tiered vendor list. If somebody comes in that has experience in it, but maybe, if we've got like 3 or 4 people already on that section, we're probably not going to be adding a lot of new people in there unless there's somebody that's been around for a minute. Like, for example, Famous Fox Federation has been around for quite some time with their token market and all. Like, they've just got tons of utility. Somebody coming in saying, we just created a token market and it's been around for about 6 months. You're probably not going to take the spot of Famous Fox Federation in our preferred vendor list based on the number of people that we have in those categories. So we want to make sure that we're offering the top tier stuff. So we're going to put those people in a specific chat. We call it the VIP chat in our Discord. And that's where any of our new people that are coming in that are going to get into that affiliate group are going to be able to talk about. Now, when we talk about the people in the Discord that are actually going out and doing the referrals, we even give them separate links, and we call them referral agents. And then those to show them exactly how to go out and do this. And like I said, last week was where I went through and I created all of the dummy tickets and gave them all the explanations. I mean, I went through word for word and explained them why I was writing each of the different descriptions on how they go through that to be able to go out and do outreach. And then this week, I'm actually going through selecting certain blockchains to start setting them up into different teams so they can go out and literally start promoting us in certain products and projects based on their experience in those chains. So if there's somebody that's spent time on Cardano and a handful of projects there, I'll go with them into certain Discords that they have experience in, and I'll start chatting with them in that Discord about Onelink to try to get some attention. I'll even go with on some of these endeavors. It's kind of like, okay, I'll take you with me on a sales call, and we'll actually go into the Discord that they are a member of together, and we'll go through that. And I'm going to do this on all the different blockchains. I've got Bitcoin, Aptos, Ethereum, and we've got a ton of members that are in all of these different chains for us to be able to go into and to make them feel more comfortable with the approach. Like, literally watch me go in and talk to people and create tickets, and this is how you're going to be able to do it and make some commission. And if I go with them on these calls, then they're still getting all the commission that they would get based on the number of the points of the NFTs that they have. So I'm going to make sure that, like, I'm trying to make this as easy as possible, because then over time, we already have our business model set up, kind of like what I was talking about. The business model. Did my picture just disappear?
Yeah. I'm just trying to get it back. I didn't want to interrupt your
flow.
No,
I just noticed my picture disappeared. But anyway, what I was trying to say was, I want to make sure that, like, people understand where we're going over the next couple of years. We've got our business model set up to where we are going to have so many projects and customers coming in each month down the road that we're actually going to need to hire people on board to do some of this. So we're looking to actually employ people. Like, it's not just, hey, we're going to send you out so you can make us some money and make yourself some commission, and then that's the end of it. If you start doing this on a regular basis and you start building some skills with this, you could potentially be the next OneLink employee. We'll bring you on so that you're actually able to, so that you're actually able to gain like meaningful employment. And that's kind of our goal. By the end of 3 years, we look to have 24 people on our core team staff. So this is something that we're looking at like growing based on the people that we already have in our Discord.
I love that. Sorry, I was a little bit distracted now. I'm trying to get your video back.
I gotcha.
I think I've got it.
I see it working on my end, so I know you're getting the feed, but on the YouTube, there's still like a 20 or 30 second delay on what actually shows up on YouTube, so no worries. I'm still here. I'm dancing.
Now I've got double media sources talking too much. Oh, goodness me. What fun we have.
Like I said, you got to go through some learning curves. And everyone who's watching this is going to appreciate that. This is the first one. This is going to be the roughest one ever, and then the rest of them are going to get smoother and smoother, and then you're going to be an all-time pro.
Oh, I love it.
I love it. I really hope that comes to fruition because right now I've got like you twice, and I don't understand how because you're not there twice.
Oh, hold on.
I know what I need to do. Did that make any difference?
Just give me a mic check.
Just give me a mic check.
I can hear you.
Okay, good.
Double's gone. I transitioned you in. There's like teeing stuff up and then transitioning it. Damn. This is a serious learning curve.
I got it. No worries, man. Just hang out, having fun.
Okay.
Yeah, for real.
Guys.
Apologies.
Apologies for that. Just give me a refresher on where we were.
I was talking about the affiliate marketing that we were doing and how I was making it super simple for anyone in our Discord to make money.
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic, man. And
again,
go check OneLink out because this is all live now. You can literally go and do this.
I said it can't hear me now.
Yeah, I just saw that. What in the world?
Mike went quiet.
You can still hear me though, right?
Yeah, I've still got you.
Yeah, I've still got you. That's what's weird.
Comrades, they're closing us down. Yeah, don't worry. We don't wrap up.
Oh, there's my picture. Here we go.
On request.
Oh, okay. Mike's mic is back. There we go. Don't rap.
There we go.
Good.
All right. So we've covered affiliate marketing. Yeah. Where are we? We've done some advice. People in Web3, individuals, businesses, brands. Why they should definitely get in touch with OneLink Solutions. Okay, yeah. So let's talk about Uni-Fy and OneLink. What drew you to us? How do you feel moving forward?
Oh man, I talked to you for the first time. Let's see, I was doing yard work at my mom's house, and I got a call saying that you had scheduled a call in Calendly to talk with OneLink, and I got a ping like, nobody's available, can you take this call? And that's where I first talked to you. I remember that.
Yes.
And and you gave me an idea about your business model, and I was like, this guy's got like a legit business model. Like, we need to have more calls with this. So I set up a second call so that you could actually talk to Steph and get all the info that you needed from us as well, based on what you were working on. So now, we've talked dozens of times now, and this is, you're one of the people that I look to see if there's any messages as soon as I turn on my computer every day now. But like, I see the partnership that we have, especially when it comes to our educational platform. We've got a lot that we can work on together that is in synergy. And one of the best part about OneLink Academy, which is our education platform, is that if there are other content creators out there like yourself that are actually doing things that we have on our roadmap, we would have no problem integrating that into our platform based on you being an affiliate partner. So like, you have educational content, and like I said, it's coming out that's going to teach people how to Web3, basically. That's in our roadmap as well. So there's no reason for us to dual create something from one of our affiliate partners if we can help promote them as well. So not only are we going to create something, obviously people are coming on how to Web3, how to business, how to do developer work, that kind of stuff. We're going to make sure we're adding that content so that we're all being able to push out in partnership the content of the full story. So for example, you're going to teach people how to open up wallets. You're going to teach people how to get a crypto exchange. We're going to teach people, everything else, beyond that once you get started in that. So that way the whole package can come together and people understand, maybe I want to start an NFT project. How could I do this? Oh, let's go look at some of these self-help videos that are on the Onelink educational platform, and then the access to those is going to be gained based by, holding our NFTs, certain number of them, getting the points again, that'll help us on our platform. And then there's going to be different levels all the way up through actual paid courses that you have to take to be able to get actual certifications to add an alphabet at the end of your name and actually be more professional. Like I said, I've been an Agile coach in real life for quite a while now. Those Agile certification courses are actually something that I am pushing through Onelink as well. So in real life, when corporations reach out to me and they want educational, coaching for Agile stuff, they're actually coming through Onelink. That's going to be company revenue that comes in. So that we're going to be able to teach those courses, and Onelink is going to be the actual company that handles that. So those are the types of things that we're going to be integrating into our educational platform, including the partnership that we have with Uni-Fy.
Exactly. And I think education is a huge part of building a sustainable business and providing value that we're not charging for. That's going out to people and genuinely helping their journey in Web3, into Web3, or even in Web2. Like a lot of this is applicable to that, and just due diligence and doing what you can. I've just had another notification that we now have an echo on your mic.
Oh, no.
Which is good.
Should I start singing then? Like have a reverb, is that what you mean?
Yeah, I think so. That's me. Is it me? Is it you?
Once we get the studio all set up, we'll have an actual live set outside the room so that we can listen to it like live and stuff. Because I don't have the volume on my YouTube right now, just because obviously I'm talking on the same screen and stuff.
Yeah, same.
Same.
I really don't know what happened. Basically, like I brought it up in OBS to re-bring in your video, which I got, but in doing that, I got double capture.
Double sound.
Yeah, but there's only one of you there, and there's only one of you in here. Why are there two of you on the mic?
Echo.
If the audience can, just how's that, Mike? Do you want to just drop again?
Yeah, echo. Hello. Test 1, 2, 3.
It is still.
Still echoing.
Two of you up.
I've got 2 of you up.
But I haven't. Yeah, there's only one feed coming in.
Double sound for both of us.
Yeah.
Do you have me listed twice in the bottom for the echo or for the sound coming in for the inputs?
No, that's what I mean.
I've got
you.
I've
got me. And that's it.
And
then I've got the camera, but there's no audio on my camera.
Oh, weird.
I don't know what to do. I really don't know how to sort that out in real time. Back to the YouTube drawing board. I mean, YouTube University.
Like I said, this is the first one, so this is where we'll iron it all out.
Yeah, I will get this sorted next time, and I will get a new mic. I promise you all. because I
Yes,
can't.
because
I really don't know.
I really don't know.
Sorry, I'm just looking at
Sorry, I'm just
audio
looking
feeds
at
in the
audio
mixer.
feeds in the mixer.
But look,
But look,
you know, I don't know how to
you
sort
know, I
that
don't
out.
know
I
how to
imagine
sort
it is
that out. I
super
imagine it is
annoying
super
for
annoying for
just reset the
just
factory.
reset the factory.
What do you mean by that,
What do you mean
comrade?
by that, comrade?
Reset the factory.
Reset the
Reset the
factory.
factory
Reset the factory.
in OBS
In
or
OBS
in
or in
I'm using Video
I'm
Ninja
using
for the
Video
actual room.
Ninja for the actual room.
Using OBS.
Using OBS.
This is so fun.
Look at those
Look at those
live streaming and
live
curing
streaming
issues
and
on the go.
curing issues on the go.
I know, right? Hey, what fun is it if you're not doing it live, right?
I mean,
I mean,
right at the beginning of this, it
right at the
threw me
beginning of
right
this,
off.
it
Like
threw
I've
me
done
right off. Like I've
multiple
done
Twitter Spaces and
multiple Twitter
podcasts.
Spaces
The
and
minute you can see
podcasts. The minute
yourself,
you can
it
see
really
yourself,
changes the
it
whole
really
thing.
changes the whole thing.
Oh, it totally does, because you're trying to find your own eyes on the screen when you're talking, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, how about this? If I'm echoing that bad and you can't understand me, just put your questions in the chat, and I'll answer them in the chat. If you have any more.
Me.
Whoever's listening.
Me.
Or you two. Yeah, sure, why not? I know you can hear me just fine, right?
Yeah, to be fair, I can hear you echoing as well. What I might quickly do, just I'm gonna delete your image again, and then I'll bring you back in.
Okay, cool. Does that help? Let me know to talk again and see if it goes away.
It's still doing the same thing.
Still echoing, huh?
Mute. Try talking now.
Try talking now.
Does it sound better?
No, it's still echoing.
Weird.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
It makes me think that it's actually in Video Ninja rather than
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, we could always do a part 2 later in the week if you want to do.
That sounds like a good plan.
That sounds like a good plan.
That'll let me get a new mic and work out
Yeah.
what's it called? Problem solve what's going on and not live in front of an audience.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
all right.
guys.
That sounds like a plan. Apologies for my first podcast attempt. You know, I think it went fairly well, but obviously there's a few hiccups that I don't know how to sort out on the fly. Can't use speakers and the mic together to avoid any echo feedback. Use headphones,
Yep.
Yeah, I'm doing all of that. It seems to be. Yeah, it seems to be in the streaming room that I've created that then goes into OBS and then out to YouTube. So that's what it is, something in there. I don't know enough about it to sort it out. So what we'll do, we're going to wrap this up. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you, Mike, and really appreciate everyone who's tuned in, put up with our hiccups. Check out Onelink Solutions. We will definitely do a part 2 to this where everything is refined and working beautifully. So until then, please like, subscribe, share the video, tell your friends. Every Tuesday we'll be doing these podcasts. Potentially we'll chuck another one on this week, and we may go into doing more in the week because I've had quite a lot of feedback and lots of people want to come up and talk on here. So it might be awesome to get more people and do maybe 2 a week. So we'll see how that goes. Mike, thanks, man. And I don't know if you want to just do a little log out on echo mode.
Yeah, thanks you guys. I appreciate being here, man.
Awesome. Well, yeah, thanks again. So Uni-Fy Discord is in the link in the bio. Scroll to the bottom. Hop to Uni-Fy is literally every single social outlet, including our Discord. You can join it there. Onelink Solutions. Can you join from your website?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so if you go again in the description, link to Onelink Solution website is there, and you can find a Discord there. Anyone listening who does want to, use Uni-Fy, please quote, Onelink Solutions. So anybody who wants to use Onelink Solution services, please quote Uni-Fy. Let them know you found us here. Helps us gain some commission. Anything we make goes into making the platform and the podcast better, including new mics. So,
including a new mic.
Bonus.
You get one good referral, you could buy 9 mics.
Yeah, that would be nice.
It doesn't take much to make some money on our platform.
Exactly. And you made that very clear. And I really recommend, if you're just tuning in, I'll try and add the timing points, like bookmarks where you can jump around, and I'll try and label those to like how to make money with Onelink and everything else. So,
cool.
Yeah, jump in our Discord, say hello. Currently, if you come into Uni-Fy Discord, you get instant OG applied. Drop an introduction, let us know what you're doing. Mike's in there, you can tag him, or you can obviously head directly into Onelink. Check him out on Magic Eden as well.
Cool.
All right,
thanks, man. Thanks for your time today. Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and thank you to everybody that is listening to this as a recording. So, hope to see you in Onelink Discord. I can talk to you in Uni-Fy Discord as well. My Web3 name is Big Dog Alpha. Everywhere else, aside from the Onelink Discord, in the Onelink Discord, I am Mike.
Love it. Absolute pleasure. Thank you for coming, Mike. Speak to you again soon, and thanks everyone for listening.
Take care.